CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Makovic.
Right now on the afternoon edition, firefighters battling a complex of wildfires in the Sierra foothills sparked by lightning. Now communities are left in ashes. Thanks for joining us this Wednesday. We showed you that lightning and the start of the fires yesterday, and since then they have multiplied in size. CAL FIRE says almost 20 square miles have burned in Tuolumne, Calaveras, and Stanislaus counties, and there is no containment. One big challenge for firefighters is the steep and rugged terrain. An all-out assault on the ground and in the air as firefighters battle thousands of acres up in flames in the Sierra foothills, sparked by dry lightning storms with little to no rain. The largest fire is burning 6,400 acres, consuming the historic gold rush town of Chinese Camp, 2 hours southeast of Sacramento.
Went home, checked on everything, and I got the work that I needed. I had to grab some things, and I stayed.
Evacuations were ordered there yesterday and in 2 neighboring counties as that fire spread. But lifelong resident Salina Moyle stayed behind. Her home is one of the few that still stands.
Quiet little place, so it'll be pretty quiet now. There's really nothing left. Nothing at all.
9 wildfires in Tuolumne, Calaveras, and Stanislaus counties have combined into the now dubbed TCU September Lightning Complex, burning more than 12,000 acres in total. The growing inferno fanned by strong winds gusting 50 miles an hour and 100-degree temperatures. And we are getting a closer look today at the destruction left behind after the fire swept through the town of Chinese Camp. Reporter Claudette Stefanian walks us through.
Even though this fire has ripped through, you'll still have moments like this where suddenly those hot spots will begin to flare up. With that, I want to continue to take you down the roadway to continue to kind of show you the devastation. As you might have noticed, I've had to switch over to a mask because, again, the conditions out here, they're pretty difficult to bear, where it's hard to breathe and it's just really, really strong out here. Taking, again, a look, you can see that in a lot of situations, a lot of what we're seeing here has been reduced to ash. And what you can see is maybe just the frame of what used to be, specifically the situation over there. Taking a look, and of course it just continues and extends from there. As we take a look on over, you can see just damage. Everything's just been burned down from here.
Here at home, we saw a few more lightning strikes overnight. This is time-lapse video from our camera on Mount Diablo. Let's get over to First Alert meteorologist Zoe Mintz. Zoe, any more potential for that dry lightning today around here?
Luckily, no. We are going to continue to see more moisture, cooler temperatures making their way across the state, and we need it because when it comes to fighting off these wildfires, we're still trying to get that containment under control. There was 22 wildfires that were sparked yesterday as that lightning complex made its way across the state. But luckily, like I said, we are going to continue to see that complex make its way farther north. Another beautiful view of that time-lapse from on top of Mount Diablo again. You could see a lot of lightning in the distance, but that lightning was across northern California, not across where we are going to be concerned about. So if we take a look at what we are currently seeing when it comes to our satellite and radar, a lot of smoke. And I want to have you zoom in across Southern California because you can actually see that dense, thick layer of smoke. If we can get a little bit closer here, look at that smoke that is streaming. That is the TCU September Lightning Complex fire. And again, it's 0% contained. It is nearly 12,000 acres, and we are going to continue to monitor this very closely as we step out over the next several days. I'll break down the details on what, if any, impacts this will have for us in the Bay Area and what you can expect for the rest of the week of weather ahead of us coming up in my full forecast. Over to you, Ann.
Thanks, Zoe. New at noon. Bay Area pharmaceutical giant Gilead is expanding its Foster City headquarters. The company breaking ground today on a new technical development center at its campus on Lakeside Drive. It is part of the company's $32 billion investment in U.S. manufacturing and research through 2030. Gilead says the expansion will generate more than $43 billion in economic value, adding thousands of jobs and boosting America's role in biologics and domestic biomanufacturing. California, Oregon, and Washington teaming up to form a new West Coast Health Alliance. It is an attempt to insulate vaccine guidance from federal political interference. State leaders say they are responding to turmoil and politicization at the CDC under President Trump and Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Kennedy recently fired several CDC vaccine advisors and brought in leaders who have promoted vaccine skepticism. The new alliance promises to offer shared, science-based vaccine recommendations across the West Coast, while also allowing each state to pursue strategies fitting local needs. A bipartisan group of lawmakers is demanding all the files from the Jeffrey Epstein case be released. Bay Area Congressman Ro Khanna and Kentucky Republican Thomas Massie stood with abuse survivors of the late convicted sex offender, demanding transparency.
This is about ending secrecy wherever abuse of power takes root. But transparency alone is not enough. Survivors need protection, resources, and legal support.
They are calling on lawmakers to back a petition that would force a House vote to release all files in the Justice Department years-long Epstein investigation.
There is something that is rotten in Washington. Less than 1% of these files have been released. We are demanding today on the discharge petition that all of the files be released.
Last night, the House Oversight Committee released over 30,000 pages of documents related to Epstein. CBS News reviewed those files and confirmed that a large majority of them had previously been made public. China's military might on display today as the People's Liberation Army marched in Tiananmen Square. It was the largest military parade in China's history. And it was an opportunity for President Xi Jinping to show off the weapons in China's possession, including nuclear-armed missiles and autonomous underwater drones. Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un were also in attendance. President Trump lashed out on social media, accusing China, Russia, and North Korea of conspiring against the U.S. Major move from the Vatican for the planet, as Pope Leo opens a brand new eco-training center just outside of Rome. It sits in the lush countryside at Castel Gandolfo, the historic summer retreat of popes. Now, the space that was closed to the public for 400 years is being transformed into a hub for environmental education, with a school, gardens, and workshops for kids and farmers. The Vatican hoping the Green Village will inspire world leaders to take climate action. Still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area. It's becoming a spectacle. Humpback whales in our Bay Area backyard. We're going to meet a whale watcher who is helping others take in the sight. And do you have a ticket? As the Powerball jackpot grows, we're asking, what would you do with the cash if you won? Well, we have another chance to win that massive Powerball prize tonight after no ticket matched all the lucky numbers for the jackpot. It has now gone up to $1.4 billion. People have been stopping by convenience stores to buy their tickets to play. This donut shop in Burlingame has seen some customers trying their luck while buying treats. One man says he's never had the chance to leave the country, and he would use that money to travel. He'd also like to help out others.
I'm thinking about the Philippines, Japan, China, and Thailand, for starters. You only got one life. I'm hoping to have a little luck, and I'm hoping to help my family and my friends.
If somebody wins the jackpot, they can get the $1.4 billion over 30 years or a one-time payment of more than $500 million. Both are before taxes. The odds of winning are 1 in 292 million. Right now, Pacifica is the place to be if you want to see humpback whales. A group has been enjoying themselves just offshore. Max Darrow caught up with one whale watcher who says that catching glimpses of these majestic creatures is totally worth the wait.
There it is, right there.
Oh, my goodness. For the best play-by-play of a phenomenon unfolding off the coast of Pacifica right now.
Oh, big splash again.
Look no further than Robin Brunn.
I do love it, as you can tell, yeah. And a lot of times you can see them slap their fins.
Simply put, she loves whales.
They're magnificent creatures, for sure.
And the humpback whale is the star of an offshore show on daily display in Brunn's backyard.
But the last 2 weeks have been spectacular.
That is drawing people to Pacifica from all over the place.
There's definitely, a number of us whale addicts out here. So we can spend hours and hours, all day out here at times.
The whales are here to primarily feed on anchovies. It's a relatively new phenomenon.
We are seeing now whales using coastal habitats more often than they did 20, 15 years ago.
Jaime Janke is with the group Point Blue Conservation Science.
There's two things going on here. One is a shift in the distribution of the prey, the fish prey that they consume. And the second part of the story is the success story on the recovery of the humpback whale population along the west coast of the U.S.
Janke says the whales are staying for longer, too. His group has documented whales off the coast during the winter in recent years. And with that...
And we need to do as much as we can to minimize the threats from vessel strikes and from entanglements.
It's a whale right there. You can see its back. You see it blow and its back.
Aside from the show itself, Robin loves sharing her enthusiasm with others.
I'd say it's just like kind of pure joy, really, to see them. Well, there's a whale down there.
She created the Facebook group Pacifica Whale Spotting a few years ago so people could take in the beauty together. And there are now 36,000 members.
I've gotten messages from people that said that it completely changed their life to see whales live for the first time.
It's tough to pinpoint what it is.
And for some reason, I'm just drawn to them. I just love to watch them.
Maybe it's a majestic magnetism, or maybe it's the mysteriousness of what lies below the marine surface. Whatever it is, Robin is in luck.
Oh, yeah, that was a big tail throw. Yeah, did you get it?
And you can bet she will continue to light up with every look.
Pretty cool. Back to our first alert weather now. Taking a live look outside at the Golden Gate Bridge. Waiting for a tail slap. Haven't seen one yet. Here's meteorologist Zoe Mintz.
I've actually seen a couple of whales out here over the past year or so. One was in the bay. I took a sunset trip on a boat, and it was so cool to see the whales inside the bay. I also ate at the Taco Bell in Pacifica the other day, and also saw some whales while eating Taco Bell. It was a magical experience, and I highly suggest you all do the same. Whether or not you actually eat the Taco Bell, I say go to the beach though and soak up some sunshine, because we are going to be seeing cooler and cloudier conditions through the later parts of the upcoming week. You can already see those clouds sitting offshore, and again, they are going to become a lot more apparent and a lot more abundant over the coming days, as that storm system that brought us all the lightning yesterday is quickly making its way across Northern California and into Oregon, where there is that higher potential for dry lightning well off to our north. That's what we saw early this morning. But now here in the Bay Area, there is nothing to talk about when it comes to lightning or wildfire threats. In fact, there's a little low pressure system. You can actually see it swirling off the coast, and that is going to be bringing us a bit more moisture and stronger onshore winds over the next 24 to 48 hours, continuing to cool down our temperatures through the later parts of the upcoming week. So if we take a look at our satellite and radar again, it was a lot foggier early this morning. That fog quickly peeled back, and there's actually a lot of sunshine along the coast. So again, Pacifica, Taco Bell, or any maybe fast food or homemade food that you want to eat, take it to the beach. Maybe hopefully you get a few whale sightings in there. We're looking at a little bit of smoke across our inlandmost communities, but honestly, here in the Bay Area, we are extremely, extremely lucky when it comes to that relatively lower impact from the wildfires that have been raging across the Central Valley of California. Again, low impacts for us here in the Bay Area, as we are looking at more moisture and cooler temperatures that will continue to stream in. You can already see those colors in yellow becoming more widespread along the coast and the peninsula, sitting in the 60s and low 70s directly along our coastal communities, while our inland areas are going to be in the upper 80s to low 90s this afternoon. By tomorrow afternoon, we are going to continue to see those temperatures cooling down even more. Tomorrow, you're going to be seeing those highs sitting in the mid to lower 80s, 70s by the bay, mid 60s directly along our coastal communities. Again, it is going to feel a lot nicer later this week. If maybe it was a little bit too hot for you inland this past couple of days, again, comfortable heat, and that's going to stick around into the weekend ahead of us. Over to you, Ann.
Well, the Golden State Valkyries showed up and showed out at Valhalla last night. They finally beat the defending champion, the New York Liberty, and they are even closer to clinching a spot in the playoffs. You can watch them take on the Dallas Wings tomorrow night on Pix Plus. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30. We are just a few days away from the 49ers season opener, and the players looking forward to getting back on the field after a long offseason. Here's Fern Glenn with more.
This is the Audi Red and Gold Report.
When the 49ers take the field in Seattle for Sunday season opener, it will be San Francisco's first meaningful game in 8 months after the team missed the playoffs last year. Before last season, the Red and Gold had played deep into the playoffs, reaching 2 NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl the previous 3 years. Even players like Trent Williams, who didn't get much postseason experience during his first 10 years of his career with Washington, had grown accustomed to playing into late January and February.
Obviously, when you're used to making deep playoff runs, and I mean, I still laugh when I say that because I come from been to the playoffs one time in 10 years. But
that's your new reality.
Now it's my new reality. So yeah, you're right. When you're used to making those deep runs, and getting off in January, it seems like an eternity.
With the Red and Gold Report, I'm Vern Glenn.
Still ahead, health concerns over a common nail polish ingredient, where it's banned, and what consumers need to know. A common ingredient found in gel nail polish is now banned in Europe over health concerns. So while it is still allowed here in the U.S., experts say that we should pay attention to the potential risks. The chemical is called TPO. Doctors say it can affect the endocrine system and alter the various levels of some hormones. While experts say occasional exposure might not be harmful, they stress that long-term repeated exposure is what raises concerns.
If your next nail appointment is this week and there's no suitable alternatives, it's okay. I wouldn't stress too much, but just long term, if this is something that someone's doing every 2 weeks or on a somewhat regular basis, it does have a cumulative effect.
Some salon owners are already moving away from chemicals they believe could pose risks. With Europe setting the trend, some believe it's only a matter of time before U.S. regulators or consumers demand safer alternatives. Coming up here on CBS News, Bay Area sharks are known for their signature smile, but find out what is threatening their teeth. Sharks are losing their bite. Now, climate scientists are pushing to preserve the predators and safeguard the world's oceans. New research shows that rising acid levels in seawater are dissolving sharks' teeth, threatening their ability to hunt and ultimately survive. Scientists say climate change is the driving force. As more carbon dioxide enters the atmosphere, it makes ocean water more acidic, gradually wearing down shark teeth. Now, if you're afraid of sharks, that might sound like a good thing, but experts say healthy sharks are essential for balanced ecosystems, so they're calling for urgent action to protect them and the oceans they call home. That is it for the afternoon edition. Thanks for joining us today. Remember, we are streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app. Just go to Live and then choose Bay Area.